Bitcoin, game over? Well, look, I don't think so. We did come down and close the CME gap almost. It's not 100% closed. I think the close will happen very soon. But Bitcoin has come down with our squiggly line represented 4 or 5 hours ago on a CryptoKid update video that said, Bitcoin, this is not good. We highlighted the bearish divergence on the 1 hourly time frame. We said that the CME gap, well, these CME gaps 95% of the time close. So I give you a 95% probability that this CME gap would close. And that's what Bitcoin is trying to do. We're almost there. And the final reason why we expected a drop is because this price action, the line that I drew alongside the exhaustion candle right there at the top, was very similar to the prior all-time high created at 123. We go up, we create some sort of exhaustion candle, we come down, we consolidate, and we drop more. That's what Bitcoin mimicked exactly, and that's why we thought that Bitcoin would go ahead and do this move. So congrats if you're able to brace for impacts before Bitcoin had that crash. What I've done is I've entered obviously that limit long position that's right now at break even to do a DCA entry on Bitcoin. I don't think that this will be like a bottom entry. We're not timing the bottom here. We've been long on weeks ever since $77,000. And actually, it's very likely that Bitcoin comes a little bit more to the downside before we reverse our course. So look, this entry for me is fine because I think that the macro outlook for Bitcoin is okay. And that's how I've chosen my leverage. That's how I've done my risk management. I think it's a good position to be adding to the rest of my positionings. So if you want to be trading Bitcoin too, you can actually use the first link in the description down below to not only get a completely free $1,000 Ethereum trade, but actually as soon as you sign up, well, not as soon as you sign up, when you sign up, 24 hours after you sign up, you're going to be promoted to VIP level 2 status. And this gives you 25% off trading fees. So if you're a whale trader and you trade with, you either day trade with a bunch of different positions or you trade with large quantities, the 25% fee reduction, I'm telling you from experience, saves you a lot of money. So if you want to take advantage of that, then you can start trading on weeks with the first link and also claim a free $1,000 position. I like my entry. I think it's fine, but I did say that it's possible, and actually I think it's likely that Bitcoin drops a little bit more before we reverse course. And I want to tell you the reason. The first reason is the dump we had on the wholesale inflation data was tremendous. Like we've never seen, forget about selling volume, but we've never seen this much volume on Bitcoin in a long time. The last time we got this much volume was when Bitcoin corrected from 105 down to about the 95,000 range. And what people say is, and I think it's a true statement, volume always predicts price. The fact that we had so strong volume in that bearish way, to me suggests at least a little bit of consolidation at where the price is now, or even a potential drop to the 116 if that doesn't hold, the 115 if that doesn't hold, the 112. And after those, or if those are breached, we can talk again later. But those are the good amounts of supports that I'm looking at. And I think we're not going to reverse immediately to the upside. I could be wrong, as always. It's always a chance that I'm wrong. Don't forget that. But I think that one of those supports should try and hold steady. And then eventually we start our gradual increase into the following of the M2 money supply. And we go up to about $130,000, $135,000 to the last week of September. And we start our decline, and that's when the large cap season is initiated. So that's my outlook on Bitcoin. Ethereum now reversing from that line of resistance we drew very nicely to now $4,500. Again, completely normal. This is an asset that has went up by, let's calculate very quickly, it's went up 23% in the past 2 weeks. That's a lot. Okay, so it's completely normal for us to pull back, take a little bit of the liquidity. Fully understandable, nothing to worry about. I think that Ethereum has got good momentum in it, and I think we will continue that good momentum until the end of August, but then September could be a time we correct. And even $4,000 for a potential level of correction is on the table. And I must say, if we do come down to 4,000, it would actually be beautiful because Ethereum struggled so hard to break above 4K that if we were able to test it as supports, that would give us enough amount of momentum to go and pump to $8,000, which I still think will happen. So yeah, nothing much more to add on Ethereum there. And I did find a bit of a discovery, and I wanted to share it with you. This is the chart of Cardano, and I was just streaming normally on the Moon Show. And when I was rewatching the show, I looked at the Cardano charts in a way that I didn't see it before. So if you look at the previous cycle for Cardano, this was the price action. You come down, you do a W formation, retest the W neckline, and go to Valhalla in the final quadrant of the normal Bitcoin and crypto seasons. If you look at this cycle, then you can see the same drop, the same sort of W formation. We come down, go just under the neckline. That's not an issue. Nothing has to be exactly perfect. But we're in Q4, we're going into the final most profitable point for Bitcoin. And to me, it makes a lot of sense if we see this price appreciation in the next few months. So I just wanted to put it out there. And I actually really liked what I saw. So I'm probably going to go ahead and buy a bunch of Cardano tonight into my spots personal trading portfolio. But in terms of derivatives trading, I also think it's pretty interesting to open some limit orders because I think that large caps, including Chainlink and Cardano, they have a bit of a bearish divergence on the daily. So we could correct back down to the 77 cents range for Cardano, down to our entry. And I'm going to be slowly starting to set some limit orders in that level to buy and scoop up as much as Cardano as I can, because I think it's I think that chart is truly remarkable, and I think Cardano will follow this, and I want to profit from that. So I'm going to put some limit orders on weeks. You can go ahead and sign up if you want to trade on weeks with the first link to get VIP status in 24 hours time. I'm going to put a limit order. I'm going to use only 4x leverage, nothing crazy. Cross combined for me is okay for this contract. And we're going to go and do a 20% or 22% is okay. I'm going to click open long. Yes, use margin. Fine. This is the $5,000 trading challenge. We've scaled it to, I think, 15K, 3x, not too shabby. I'm going to click confirm, and boom, we're going to set a limit order right at our entry to double down on our position. I think we can see the reversal, a bit of a shooting star candle on Cardano. I like the bearish divergence, and I want to add more when Cardano corrects because of this chart, because I think it is phenomenal. But with that said, that's pretty much it for today. When we look into the US government Bitcoin Treasury holdings, Scott Bessent mentioned that America holds between $15 to $20 billion of Bitcoin. According to Arkham Intelligence, it's 23 billion, so it's pretty accurate. It's sad that we won't be seeing likely an executive order to buy Bitcoin, and the only hope we have is the Bitcoin Act of 2025 by Senator Cynthia Lummis. But sadly, it's a very, very tough bill to pass, so it's quite ambiguous, the future of the Trump administration and the government of the USA, and whether if they will be buying more Bitcoin. And the narrative changed completely from Trump saying a few months ago that the working group would go for the crypto strategic reserve, which included XRP, Solana, and Cardano. Yeah, that didn't happen. They pivoted to Bitcoin and Ethereum, but now it looks like that's not going to happen either. So very, very strange situation going on. I don't think that Bitcoin needs, or cryptocurrencies need, America to create a stockpile out of them to go up. I don't think it's necessary. It would have been great, don't get me wrong, but they're not doing it. It doesn't look like they'll be doing it as of today. It could change. But I still think we will go up regardless when we get the rate cuts when they're due. So that's about it, guys and girls, today. I don't have much more to add. I just think that the top isn't in yet. So we're getting close to it, but the top will likely happen sometime in September, October, and then Q1 2026, nice altcoin season. And then we have to sell, in my opinion, everything and just pack our bags and wait another 4 years. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Well, this is the third video today, so I hope you enjoyed all 3 videos. If you did, destroy that like button. And with that said, I'll see you all on the next update video very soon. Take care, guys, and as always, bye-bye.